I've been wearing barefoot shoes now since 2018, and I started my barefoot journey because I read one of Tim Ferriss's books and he talked about the benefits of barefoot running. And I'm now exclusively barefoot. I don't wear any other style of shoes, mainly because I can't, and I'll explain that bit a little bit later on in the video. So after 3 years, here are the benefits that I've experienced from wearing barefoot shoes. Strong feet and ankles. Did you know that each foot is made up of 26 bones, 30 joints, more than 100 muscles, tendons and ligaments, and thousands of nerve endings? And it makes me realise how complex the foot is, and like any other part of our body, how it needs to be exercised. So what do I mean by having strong feet? Well, I can walk far, I run, and I generally live an injury-free life, with my feet being part of the healthy and strong framework for the rest of my body. Better foot function can lead to better mechanics elsewhere in the body. And that leads me nicely to my second point: improved balance and proprioception. Before I head into this point, and if you're wondering what proprioception means, it's the sense of movement and body position we have, and the body's ability to perceive its own position in space. I've noticed a clear improvement in my proprioception and also my balance, and it was a slow process, something that I only noticed after about 12 months of being barefoot. Balance is extremely important, especially as the body gets older. The less we can balance, the higher the risk of injury. Barefoot shoes provide a fantastic base to stand and feel strong, adopt a great posture and activate the muscles in the feet. Increased ankle range. Since wearing barefoot style shoes, the flexibility and mobility in my ankles has increased, and I had stiff ankles for years after a really serious sprain. Before each workout, I perform a dynamic warm-up, and back when I first started wearing barefoot shoes, I found that my deep squat was starting to improve because the shoes provided more range for my ankle. There was no heel or cushion elevating my foot off the ground, which meant I had to find that deep squat through practice. And that improvement in ankle health has transferred up into my body, into my calves, into my knees, hips and back. It's basically like a puzzle piece that has all fitted together, starting from the ground up. Over the years, my toes and my feet have spread, regaining their natural shape, which totally amazes me. Back when I was 28, I had a really nice pair of leather brogues, and they were a bit tight, they were a bit sore, but they looked good, so I carried on wearing them every day. And then after a few weeks of wear, I realised that I'd started to get a bit of a bunion, and that was a turning point for me, where I realised how important good fitting shoes were, and that I just really didn't want old lady feet. So that's when my barefoot journey began. So coming back to the barefoot shoes, with all of that extra space in the toe box, my toes have now spread. And with my big toe out here and not over here, that's what's helping with my balance. The big toe plays a really important role in balance. So not only have my toes spread, but my feet have actually spread. I used to be a size 4, which is European size 37, and I'm now a size 5, which is European size 38. And that process, it was about 2 years, and at first I thought it was all part of my imagination. But now when I put on some of my older shoes that I used to wear, they are so tight, my toes are so squashed, and I basically feel the whole shoe, which confirms the fact that actually my feet, all the muscles, the tendons, the bones, the ligaments, they have just spread out and gone back to their normal shape. How mad is that? I'm a better runner. Now this point could spark a little bit of controversy on the basis that there's the forefoot or midfoot running versus the heel striker. And I'm not here to tell you which one is correct or better, only here to share my experience. I do all of my runs in barefoot shoes now, and that means I don't heel strike. The reason that I changed from a heel strike run was that when I watch children run barefoot or people run on sand with no shoes, none of them were heel striking, and it occurred to me that I didn't think that it was natural. Then I read some articles by Tim Ferriss, love him, and Kelly Starrett, love him, and I also saw that Ross Edgley was going barefoot, love him. Then I thought, I wanted to give it a try. It's taken me 7 years to transition from a 12mm cushioned running shoe down to a zero drop barefoot style running shoe, but the patience and time was definitely worth it. Landing on my forefoot rather than my heel allows my body to absorb the impact through its own suspension system, rather than the impact jarring up through my knees, hips and back. And if you're thinking about transitioning to barefoot style shoes yourself, then I have made a video about that up here. Awareness. Wearing barefoot shoes starts with us being aware of our feet and feeling the ground beneath us. Then that awareness moves up to our body, then our mind, then to the people around us, and then to the planet. Now, I know that seems pretty deep, all from just choosing a certain pair of shoes, but one thing leads to another. And when we become more aware of things, even if it's just the ground beneath us, then that awareness can transfer into other areas of our life. Self-care. Even after 3 years, after a long hike or a big running session, then my feet and Achilles can still get really achy. So although this doesn't really seem like a benefit, then I view those activities like a workout for my feet. And it also provides an opportunity for self-care, like rolling, massaging and taking care of my body. So by the sounds of this video, being barefoot is amazing and it's going to change your life, but there are some downsides to it. It can take a long time and quite a lot of discipline to transition to barefoot. After 2 years of wearing barefoot style shoes, I ran a 10-kilometre trail race, and that was the longest distance that I'd ever run in barefoot shoes. And the last 200 metres of the race, I decided to chuck in a cheeky little sprint, and about 50 metres from the finish, I heard and felt my calf muscle ping off its origin. It was absolutely excruciating, and basically that was my body saying this is too much too soon, and that was after 2 years of being barefoot. So the transition is really slow, and I think it's really important to take it easy. Achy feet and calves. When first wearing barefoot shoes, the feet and calves can get so achy, and wear them for too long and this can happen.
What you doing, creeping around, LT? Well, I'll tell you why I'm creeping, because I can't walk.
Even worse, you'll get an injury. Despite all the benefits of barefoot shoes, then I don't recommend ditching all of your regular shoes to go exclusively barefoot. First of all, the transition is slow and you don't want to overdo it. And secondly, I'd say be mindful of throwing away perfectly good pairs of shoes, because we need to take care of our planet. There are lots of barefoot shoe style brands available, and I personally like Vivobarefoot. I've been wearing them for years, and Vivo haven't asked me to make this video. It's not sponsored. I just wanted to share my experience of 3 years of barefoot. And if you are wanting to buy a pair of Vivos, then I have put a link in the description box along with a discount code. If you have any questions about barefoot shoes or experience benefits from wearing them yourself, then I would love to hear from you in the comments box. And if you're into living an adventurous, healthy and cheerful life, then consider hitting the subscribe button. I'll put the video about transitioning to barefoot here. I'll also put some other videos on screen that I think that you might like, and hopefully I'll see you again.